Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, Browns fans. I have to tell you, there's never a dull moment when it comes to Cleveland's quarterback situation. This offseason has been one of the most intriguing in recent memory, and it's all centered around one question. Who will be the guy under center when the Browns kick off the 2024 season? The buzz is everywhere, and it's impossible to ignore just how much is riding on this decision. And let me tell you, it's not just about who throws the ball best in practice or preseason. It's about strategy, development, and the future of this franchise. Because in Cleveland, we know that the quarterback position isn't just a role. It's the heartbeat of the team, the spark that ignites the entire offense, and ultimately, the key to vying for that elusive Super Bowl trophy. So, as we dive into this story, let's start by looking at what's happening right now. Cleveland's offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, has been pretty clear that nothing is set in stone. When asked about the quarterback competition, he said, "I mean, yeah, you can see them all winning the job, I think, right? In terms of the competition, we're so early in the process, we're so early in evaluating it. But yeah, I think we have a good group of guys that continue to push each other, and by the time September rolls around, we'll be ready to go." That statement alone is a crystal clear indication that the Browns are keeping their options open, and this isn't a situation where one guy has a clear edge. It's a true competition, a fluid situation that could shift at any moment depending on how players perform in training camp and preseason. And let's be real here, the quarterback position in Cleveland has been a roller coaster over the past few years. We've seen some ups and downs, some promising moments, and plenty of questions. But this year, it feels different. It feels like the Browns are genuinely trying to find not just a stopgap, but a long-term solution. And that's where the spotlight is really shining right now, on the rookies, on the veterans, and especially on Shedeur Sanders, the latest name to enter the conversation. Sanders, the young quarterback with incredible promise, is being hyped up quite a bit. But the big question is, what does his path to becoming Cleveland's starting quarterback really look like? Well, for starters, Shedeur Sanders is physically ready to play in the NFL right now. He's got the size, arm strength, and athleticism that you want in a modern quarterback. But as we all know, the physical tools are just one piece of the puzzle. The real challenge for Sanders is adapting to the mental and strategic demands of an NFL offense, especially one as complex as Kevin Stefanski's scheme. Now, I know there's been some talk about Sanders coming from Colorado, where offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur ran a pro-style offense, supposedly making him more pro-ready than others. But in reality, that's not entirely accurate. While Sanders has a solid college resume, being a four-year starter at Jackson State, and then showcasing his skills at Colorado, the transition to the NFL demands more than just physical readiness and college experience. In fact, the complexity of Stefanski's offense is a whole new world for any rookie quarterback. The verbiage, the protections, the pre-snap reads, all of these are things Sanders will have to learn quickly. It's not just about memorizing plays. It's about understanding the language, the timing, and being able to process all of that in a matter of seconds when the game is on the line. For Sanders, this means a steep learning curve, especially since his college offense didn't always operate with NFL-level complexity. So right now, the Browns are probably viewing Sanders as a project, someone who needs to learn the ins and outs of their scheme before he can truly compete for the starting role. Let's talk about the current depth chart in Cleveland. If I had to make an educated guess based on what we know, Joe Flacco is the veteran in the lead. Flacco, with his experience and playoff pedigree, is likely to start the season as the QB1, at least initially. Behind him, you've got Dillon, Gabriel, and Kenny Pickett battling it out for the number 2 spot. And then, of course, there's Sanders sitting as the 4th quarterback on the roster. That's quite a load of competition. But here's the thing, if Sanders can quickly grasp the offense, get the verbiage down, and perform well in preseason, his chances of climbing that ladder significantly increase. Preseason isn't just about throwing passes and showcasing arm talent. It's about demonstrating football IQ, decision-making, and adaptability under game-like conditions. And I want you to remember this, Browns fans, because it's crucial. Preseason success alone doesn't guarantee a starting spot. Both Sanders and Gabriel will need to be exceptional, performing veterans in a way that makes the coaching staff sit up and take notice. The reason is straightforward. Cleveland isn't just trying to develop a quarterback for the future. They want to win now. If Flacco or Pickett look sharp and consistent, they'll likely get the nod to start the season, especially considering their experience and ability to handle the pressure of Week 1. But if Sanders or Gabriel flash brilliance early on, if they show that rare combination of poise and playmaking ability, the door swings wide open. Now, here's an interesting point. Regardless of preseason performance, the Browns' management will have to decide whether they want to prioritize immediate wins or development. It's a classic debate. Do you start the veteran and nurture the rookie, or do you throw the young guy in to see if he can handle the heat? The answer may depend on how quickly Sanders can learn the offense and how well he performs when given his chances. If he can master the verbiage and execute under pressure, then his window opens wider. But that's a big if, especially for a rookie who's still getting used to the NFL speed and complexity. Let me give you some inside perspective. Sources within the Browns organization suggest that Sanders has the raw talent, but the real question is how fast he can adapt. They believe he's physically ready, no doubt about that. But mentally, he has work to do. His college offense was more straightforward, and while he's shown he can make all the throws, translating that to Stefanski's complex, multi-layered offense is a different story. The Browns will likely tailor their approach in training camp, scaling back certain concepts to accelerate his learning curve, and then gradually expanding the offense as he gets comfortable. This is a critical period for Sanders. Preseason games will be his proving ground, and how he responds to that pressure will shape his future in Cleveland. If he lights it up in the preseason, that could trigger a major shakeup in the depth chart. Imagine him starting in Week 1. That's a scenario that's far from impossible if everything clicks. But don't forget, the veterans, Flacco, Pickett, and even Gabriel, are experienced, and they will be fighting tooth and nail to hold onto their spots. The Browns are in a unique position where they can afford to be patient, but they also know that patience has its limits when it comes to winning games and building a championship-caliber team. Another aspect to watch is how the coaching staff manages the offense around Sanders if he does get the nod. Will they simplify things to help him succeed early on? Will they incorporate more designed runs or quick passes to help him settle into the game? These are the internal discussions happening right now and will intensify as training camp approaches. The goal is to give Sanders the best chance to succeed without rushing him into a role he's not yet ready for. But at the same time, they're aware that the longer they wait, the more the clock ticks, and the less developmental time they have before the season starts. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The Browns have been on a bit of a roller coaster for the past few years, especially at quarterback. We've seen flashes of brilliance, like Baker Mayfield's early promise, and then struggles to find consistent success. But what's exciting now is that Cleveland appears to be making a clear effort to build a sustainable future at the position. Whether it's with veteran leadership, like Flacco, or with young talent, like Sanders and Gabriel, the Browns are laying the groundwork for a flexible, competitive quarterback room. They're not just looking for an immediate fix, they want a long-term solution, and that's why this competition is so vital. And speaking of Sanders, his story is particularly compelling because he's coming from a background that's a little unconventional for NFL quarterbacks. Coming from Jackson State and then Colorado, he's had a different path to the pros. But his talent, arm strength, and athletic ability are undeniable. The challenge now is translating those skills into the complex, fast-paced environment of the NFL. It's a steep learning curve, no doubt, but Browns fans love a good underdog story, and Sanders certainly fits that mold. If he can master the playbook and perform when it counts, he could very well be the one leading Cleveland's offense in the near future. As we look ahead, the next few months will be critical. Training camp, preseason games, evaluations, and internal discussions will all play their part in shaping Cleveland's quarterback future. It's a battle of experience versus potential, of veterans versus rookies, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Browns have been building towards this moment for years, and now it's all about finding the right guy to take them to the next level. The expectations are high, the pressure is on, but if there's one thing Browns fans know, it's that this team never does anything the easy way. We thrive on drama, resilience, and the unshakable belief that the next best thing is just around the corner. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback battle? Do you believe Sanders has what it takes to start in Week 1? Or do you think the veterans will hold their ground? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. Remember, this is a journey and we're all in it together. Stay tuned because I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and of course, the latest Cleveland Browns news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Browns fans, let's keep the faith alive because the future is bright and the best is yet to come.